So you said that you used to work in sort of the more traditional financial industry. So how would you compare working in crypto and blockchain to working there?
I feel like you get a lot more done.
Blockchain Capital, one of the earliest venture capital firms that invests only in blockchain and crypto startups. Founded by brothers Bart and Brad Stevens, Brock Pierce, and with Jimmy Song as a Bitcoin fellow, it has $250 million in assets under management and has invested in companies like Coinbase, Kraken, Circle, and Ripple. Its partner, Spencer Bogart, showed us around their office.
Inevitably, at large Wall Street financial firms, you end up with a very small set of responsibility. Whereas in crypto, there's so much to be done, to be built, particularly on the venture side, that means there's a lot of work and everyone has to do it, which is fun.
So would you say that this environment is corporate at all, or is it like?
Oh, it's pretty relaxed, but also with venture capital, and we have our LPs are very serious investors, and so we also tried not to be too playful, but like to have fun here as well. Our VR room. So we invested in a virtual reality company called High Fidelity, run by Philip Rosedale, who's the founder of Second Life, the biggest, most successful online virtual world. And so now he's working on building that into virtual reality. And so it makes sense for us that in a digital world, there will be digital assets. And those will probably be blockchain-based assets. So this is where we try out some of the fun virtual reality things.
So like between corporate Wall Street, get there at 6, leave at midnight, and like the San Francisco tech companies with like the beer on tap and the barefoot, like where would you fall?
Let's see, we don't have beer on tap. We do have cold brew in the fridge and obviously the LaCroix, so like I feel like that, yeah, exactly. But then again, I am usually in before 7 a.m., so it's kind of literally a blend of the two.
Interesting. And so do you find that most people that work here came from traditional finance?
It's about, most of them did, yeah. Probably about 3/4.
So where did the rest come from? Just like out of nowhere?
Yeah, out of the legal world, out of universities, and out of research. Over the years, Blockchain Capital's invested in a couple of ATM companies, and so this is one of them that sent us out their actual ATM, so you could actually use it. I don't know if it's been set up in the new place yet. Looks like it has. But you can enter a phone number, you can submit cash in, and you can either have it sent straight to a wallet or print it out on a paper wallet. So these are all old, mostly defunct Bitcoin mining companies. So we have Butterfly Labs, KNC Miner, Spondoolies, a whole bunch of blades here. These are all mining companies that were early and were all very interesting and have not survived, unfortunately.
It's like a graveyard.
Yeah, exactly. A lot of them. This is the 21 Bitcoin computer, which is kind of a prototype. We have the Cointelegraph machines here for mining Bitcoin. And then some of Bitmain's equipment down here as well, which is, of course, one of the only mining companies that's been able to survive and has now grown into a $15 billion behemoth.
Yeah, no, it's huge. So big.
Yeah. I mean, at one point you could even just used to keep these on the conference table and these little chips would actually be mining, these little tiny ones, and you had to have a fan on here just to keep them cool so they wouldn't overheat.
So I have to say, the space here does look pretty empty. Where is everyone?
Oh, so we just moved in a couple months ago, and down here, so we're gonna keep everything upstairs, but what's gonna be down here is we're gonna incubate a couple of the teams that maybe aren't quite at a stage where we can invest in them yet, but we really like what they're doing and would like to give them the office space to be able to work together and be able to collaborate, and then hopefully they get to a stage where we can kind of put capital into the company as well. So down here, that's primarily what this space will be used for. And we do use all the conference rooms down here for now in the meantime. And then in the back, we have our teaching room. A couple weeks ago, Jimmy Song was doing programming blockchain out of here. So we had 25 different developers here that were learning how to code on top of Bitcoin. So I joined Blockchain Capital about 1.5 years ago. We're a venture firm that invests exclusively in blockchain and crypto companies. We have about 75 companies in the portfolio. But what I ended up spending most of my time on was just around Bitcoin. So I started publishing on Bitcoin, was the only analyst on Wall Street consistently publishing on Bitcoin. And one thing led to another. So in total, it's probably been about 3 or 4 years of working professionally and about 5.5 of personal interest.
So what do you think needs to happen with regulation in the US specifically in terms of growing blockchain development?
It's a good question. I'd say the biggest hurdles right now, I mean, if we think about kind of blockchain technology as a whole, and then we think about maybe the crypto side of things in particular, I think more of the regulatory hurdles are on the crypto side of things as opposed to necessarily like a blockchain technology side. I haven't seen much resistance to kind of blockchain technology as a whole, except maybe as applied to something like healthcare. But otherwise, I think that's relatively open. But when it comes to the crypto assets, I think it's a little bit more challenging.
Cointelegraph. Like, subscribe, and hodl.